Hello, I'm Shelli Hendricks, and I'm here to talk to you today about leading in times of transition. During times of organizational change, the research tells us that the human psyche experiences 4 different stages. In the first stage, we experience what's called denial. This looks like shock, resistance, and denial itself. Oftentimes, you might hear someone say, "No, this can't be happening," or "How could this happen? How could they do this to me?" What people are searching for in the denial stage is information. And so as leaders, we can point people to the current and correct sources of information, and this will help them to process that. The next stage is what we call resistance. And so this is the much more emotional stage. The behavior often looks like resignation, anger, frustration. And in fact, this is where we begin to see a decline in performance. Even if it's a very minor change, there's a learning curve associated with it. What people are looking for in this phase is simply empathy. They need to be able to express where they are and process that emotion. It's a normal, natural, and necessary part of the transition. So as leaders, what we can do to help people through this is to simply listen, allow them the space to express what they need to say, and then begin to support them to move forward. Once we get to a place of exploration, which is the third stage, we begin to consider possibilities. We call this exploration because it's about idea generation. It's about considering what good could possibly come from this change. What could the new thing look like for me? And what could be the implications of that? So the emotions and the behaviors associated with this stage are things like hopefulness, thoughtfulness, and oftentimes you'll see a sense of impatience or eagerness to get to the next phase of the process. What people are looking for is that idea generation. And so as leaders, what we can do to help people who are in this phase, we can help facilitate that conversation. We can include them in the process. And oftentimes that will be just what people need to consider those possibilities. Finally, we get to the 4th stage of transition, which is what we call commitment. This behavior looks like acceptance, trust. There's a sense of relief oftentimes. And so this is where people are accepting the new way of being, whether it's a new organization, a new process, or simply a new way of doing work. What people are looking for in this phase is recognition that they're doing the right things, that this is in fact the new way of operating. And so as leaders, what we can do is be sure to provide those positive consequences by rewarding the desired behaviors. It's important to remember that even though the process appears to be very organized, linear, and sequential, the reality is we're dealing with human behavior. And so it's oftentimes a very nonlinear, very messy, and emotional process to go through transition. This is where the hard work happens.